So if you'd like to, Leah's going to keep her camera off. May, if you have a video that you'd like to turn on so you can join us, that would be fantastic. And we've got Nadine. Nadine, are you actually there? And then we've also got Leanne. Hi, Leanne. Would you like to say hello, Leanne? Because you're the only one on screen that's actually moving.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. I'm very well. Yeah. So for the others watching, not just here today, but also watching the replay, can you just tell us quickly about where you're from, what brought you to this course, what you hope to get out of it, and where you're up to?
I'm from Winnipeg, Canada, so way across the ocean. So it's like 6 p.m. here, I think. What brought me to this course? I lost my mom a year ago, and it's made me question everything, everything to do with work, whether I'm in the right career, anything spiritual, every question I possibly could have, I'm questioning. So when I found this program, everything that I read fit everything I felt I needed. So I'm still on module 3. Working a little at a time at it, but I'm doing it for me. So maybe not necessarily for career, but for me.
Awesome. And that's the best reason to embark upon any kind of life-changing study, because you have to first do it for yourself. It's got to be something that, as coaches, as change makers, as helpers, we have to learn to walk our talk, as it were. So if we're not trying to confront our own fears or confront our own beliefs and rewrite our own stories and challenge our own sabotaging behaviors and looking at why we do what we do and the thought patterns behind that, then it's not going to make the job easier for us to help other people to go through that process if we're not willing to allow ourselves to go through that process as well. So well done. Well done. And welcome. Okay, Georgia. Want to say hello, Georgia? I've just unmuted you. So just tell us where you're from, what's brought you to the course, where you're up to, and what you hope to get out of it. You've had quite a bit of a journey, so that might be really helpful for others to listen to right now.
Yeah. I am from Perth, and I sort of started a bit of a self-improvement journey. Well, I've always been interested in self-improvement since I was like a teenager, watching Oprah and things like that. So it's been a long, a long journey, but only sort of really came to realise where I wanted to be in the last couple of years. And that was through a network marketing business that was really focused around, you had to do a lot of self-improvement to get anywhere in the business. So I did a lot of that there, and then came across some life coaches online and thought that was just it. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So, I came across this course and it really resonated with me. And I'm now finished so module 10, and I'm nearly finished is it 10, Vicky? Is that the right one?
Well, no, not technically, because you've done the first 2 certificates separately before.
Okay. I don't know what module it is.
Yeah. So we have 12 main modules in the course as it's structured, and because you did the short holistic coaching certificate first, and then you're inspired to do the Mind Body Practitioner certificate, and you've completed those 2, and you're at this stage where you want to do the business modules, but you're starting to do some coaching to help you with that. So you have done effectively you've completed the first 8 modules. So there's 4 more in the sustainable business marketing presentation of how you're going to present yourself online, how you're going to present your offerings, and how you're going to work them, and
beautiful,
what ways you can create those income streams, not just relying on one-to-one. That's in stage 3 effectively, which is the sustainable business, holistic business modules.
Okay.
So
that's where I'm at. Module 8. So, and I have 1 more practice coaching hour to go, and then my is complete, which is awesome.
And you just had some fantastic news. Some news yesterday with your first paying client.
Yeah, so it's not confirmed, but I had a client yesterday who, at the end of the session, I mentioned that I thought that she could do with more coaching sessions after this to get some more clarity and planning in place to get to where she wants to go. And she said that she'd like to hear what my packages are when I create them, and she'd like to look at working with me. I believe she said it was all a little bit hazy, but I believe she said over 3 to 6 months. So I was playing it very cool and calm, but I was just wanting to jump out of my seat and do a dance. So it was great. And she just said that, I don't know, I felt like we really resonated with each other, and I really believe that I can help her, which was a huge thing for me, because that self-belief, I think, was waning a little bit. But I realised, having 2 calls yesterday, that it was the fact that I wasn't doing in the work. So as not through lack of trying, but I've had lots of cancellations, which I truly believe has something to do with the fact that they're free sessions, that they don't have that commitment. So I would remind them, and then they'd cancel the day before. And
can I just interrupt, because I know that you were offering sessions to people who you were doing some of that previous marketing work with. So they're kind of in that zone of wanting to have their own business, maybe not realizing how much work it takes, and maybe not fully committed to their own businesses, which certainly help them to be committed to show up to a session that actually might give them a breakthrough, and might help them to break through their fears of moving through those moving through in their business. So I wouldn't take it on as it's anything to do with you. Yes, the fact that there's no monetary exchange to sort of feel committed. Yes, I'm committed to my time and my money into this, because I know I'm going to get some great stuff out of it. Sometimes when you're working with certain types of people who have been struggling in business for a long time to try and get it off the ground, get it working, and feeling defeated, seeing other people taking that action and moving forward, sometimes that's confronting. And to be able to move through your own fears means that you have to show up and you've got to commit. And sometimes that's too scary for people in that kind of marketing business. I know we haven't said, but do you mind saying, you don't have to say the brand or anything, but the type of marketing business that it was, or that it is?
Yeah, I don't mind at all. It was, sorry, I'm just going to close this a bit. I've got the sun coming in. So it was doTERRA essential oils that I was with, and I am with, but I'm not really pursuing the business side currently. And so I've ended up helping a few ladies that are in. There's 2 ladies particularly that work in doTERRA and are still working on their business, but they've been stagnant for quite a while. And I think also the lady that I was working with yesterday, who is a coach, and she's also written a book and so on. I realised that the more and more I do this, I'm really wanting to work with women that are working on building a business, and not necessarily work from home, but have that entrepreneur mindset that are wanting more basically out of life. There was one lady that I worked with that was looking for a 9-to-5 job, and I just it's not that I judge that at all, but it's not, I don't resonate with it. So I find that I'm finding that it's really I find it easier to work with people in that sort of area that I feel passionate about. So yeah, it's cool that that sort of comes through from those sessions, that I'm sort of figuring out who I really like working with, just through the sessions that we've done so far. So, and I'm sort of getting to know myself a lot more through the sessions. So I actually found my 2 sessions yesterday, I got off them and I felt really uplifted as well. So it wasn't just helpful for them. It really, yeah, I felt really good. Whereas some of the others, I felt really drained and quite exhausted after a session, where I literally just close the computer and go lay on the couch because I just feel wrecked afterwards. So yeah, it was really nice to have. So I guess I need to hone in on sort of what qualities those clients had that I'm looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. That actually reminds me, because I was having a couple of conversations with my clients this week about a few different aspects of business. And one was what you were just talking about with who you do want to work with. And I was talking to one of my business clients actually about being very clear on a new project that she's putting out there on who she wants to work with and who she doesn't. And I said to her, have you seen these websites where, particularly with a lot of coaches and even with other businesses, where they have a, are you, bullet point form, are you an action taker? Are you ready to change your life? This program is for you, bullet points, if you're ready and willing to take action, if you're willing to show up and try some new things, if you are ready to change your life, etc. And then they also had, alternately, they also had, this program is not for you if you're wanting a quick fix, if you're not willing to put in the work, if you don't show up and complete tasks that we agree to. So this is something for all of you to sort of think about when you're considering, who do I want to work with? And what kind of people do I want to work with? Because if you're very clear on that, and you're also clear on your marketing and the way that you present it on your website, and that's completely within your right to do that, is to put up, my program, or I work with people who are motivated to take action, ready to commit to themselves, aren't going to come up with excuses, are ready to let the excuses go by. And then say who it's not for. The people reading are going to know whether or not they're willing and ready and committed to be that kind of person in order to get where they want to go with your help. And they're also going to know, alternately, that, you know, they're not going to come up with excuses. And yes, they are willing to show up. And the things that you're saying this program is not for, or I don't work with people who blah, blah, blah. There was actually, one of my clients was actually telling me, and this was only 2 days ago, she was telling me that she had seen quite a well-known entrepreneur who, in his list of I don't work with people, he was actually very specific. And he actually had the words too religious, weird, and a couple of other things. And I was sort of raising my eyebrows a little bit. She said, yeah, she said, you know, it is a bit full on, but at the same time, it kind of suits him and how he projects himself. And he also had in his don'ts, if you want a little more spiritual coaching, I'm not woo-woo, I'm not into that, go see Tony Robbins or someone like that. So he was very clear and very upfront in the way that he was marketing himself as to who he wants to work with and who his program is for and who it's not for and who he doesn't want to work with. So whether you think that's right or wrong, whether you like the way that, you know, he particularly projected that, it is something that you consider, that you can consider. And it is something that you can think about putting, you know, I love working with people who are this. I mean, there's a nice way to say it. You don't have to say my program is only for these kinds of people. You can say, I love working with, if this is your thing, I'm just going to pull out a couple of things out of my head. I love working with people who love self-development, people who love combining spirituality with personal development or whatever, or people who are ready to cut out the BS excuses and start taking responsibility for their lives. You can say it in whatever way really resonates with you that is going to align with who you want to work with. Because ultimately what you're doing when you have that message super clear is you're speaking directly to the people who are reading your message, who are drawn to how you present yourself and how you speak. They're the people who are going to read it and go, yeah, that's me. I get that. I like how he or she has presented that. That's what I want. This is what I'm ready for. If you keep that in mind, that's actually something that you can weave into your marketing message or the way that you present yourself professionally, whether it's on your website or your Facebook. And you can break it down into bullet points and present it that way. Because that way you kind of, what you're doing is being super clear on who you do work with and who you don't. And that way it makes it easier for people who are reading to know whether or not they're going to be a good fit for you or not, or whether they like the way that you've explained that about whether or not they fit that criteria or they don't, and they're better off looking somewhere else. It's kind of similar to moving into, do you put your prices on your website or do you not? Some people assume that if people don't have prices on their website, that they must be automatically super expensive. And from a coach's perspective or a business owner's perspective, they don't want to be judged solely on price. They want to be able to have that person contact them, not just to get the price, but to actually make a connection, to listen to them, to ask them, what are you struggling with at the moment? How could I help you? What would you like to change? So that you're starting a dialogue that can help that client even start to benefit from your coaching questions, your curiosity, your time in a 15-minute consultation call, so that they're already starting to feel the benefits of what you can possibly do for them. Even if it is to simply listen to what they're saying and then frame it back to them through feedback that, I understand what you're saying in that you've said this, or I hear what you're telling me is that such and such, or it sounds like what you have just told me is that you're really struggling in your relationship, affecting all of your household, and it's increasing your stress. And they'll say, yes, that's it, you got it, you get me, you understand me. When really, as long as you're listening and you're feeding back what the person's saying, you're just paraphrasing back to them what they've told you. And often that's enough for someone to go, oh, yeah, you get it, you hear me. And sometimes that's all people want. They want to know that you're willing to listen to them. Because often you'll find that people come to coaches and even counselors and all kinds of different helping professions. The first time they come is the first time they've actually ever spoken about a lot of the problems that they're struggling with. It's the first time they've actually verbalized how they're feeling, because for often for many people, it's the first time they actually feel like somebody's there and somebody is actually listening to them. So if you can provide that and build that rapport on a consultation over the phone and give them that 15 minutes of your time to let them know, I am here, I've heard you. It sounds like this. Do I have that correct? Yes. There are lots of things that I can do to help you here if you're willing to invest in yourself over a period of time to get where you want to go. You know, what's that worth to you? Like, I don't say what's that worth to you, but it's good for you to keep in mind, what would that be worth to that client? And then try and put that into some sort of words. What if over the next 6 to 12 weeks, I could help you to absolutely minimize your stress, build a better relationship, set some personal boundaries, increase your self-esteem, and overall feel better about the direction of your life and what you want and what you need. Oh, that'd be wonderful. I'd really love that. So that's where they're more likely to start to see, yeah, over the next 6 to 12 weeks, I could have that. I could have that if I'm willing to invest now in myself via time and money and energy with this person who seems to get me and understand what I'm going through, and seems to know how I can get there, how I can have that, how I can reach that outcome. Because remember, you're not selling your services. You're not selling the fact that you're a holistic life coach. You're not selling that you're a Reiki teacher or a massage therapist or a craniosacral therapist or a personal trainer or any of those things. You're not selling that. You're selling the result. You're selling the outcome. You're selling the very thing that that person is looking for. what that person is needing, what they see is necessary in order for them to feel the way they want to feel. Do you put prices on your website or not? Well, that really depends on how you present yourself online and how well you can really communicate those benefits of working with you, so that by the time they get to the price, they're like, yeah, I'm already convinced. I'm happy to invest and pay whatever here and work with this person, because I know now, after reading what they can do for me, that they're going to be able to help me get what I want. And if you don't have your price there, then hopefully it's enough interest to spark curiosity. Because if you spark curiosity in someone, they're going to ask, well, how can you help me reduce my stress and feel better about my eating behaviors? Because ultimately that's what they want, but how can you do that? So if you spark curiosity enough for them to contact you, that's when you can take that opportunity to build rapport and show them how you could possibly potentially help them get that outcome thereafter by understanding what that is for them. And the financial commitment doesn't seem like it's so much of a big deal to get that in the way of using it as I don't want to say using it as an excuse, but often it is used as an excuse when there's always ways around it. I always have payment plans. I always have affordable payment plans. And when someone is in financial difficulty, at my discretion, I will discount just for that person. I don't advertise it, but if someone asks me and I can see that they really need the help, I will give them the help if I can fit them in. So that is something, again, you'll have to consider for yourself. So, just consider those things, because part of being a business owner means that you're responsible for running your business, which is why in my opinion, and why I wrote the last 4 modules in stage 3, it's important to actually know how to run a business. Because if you know how to be a practitioner or a coach or a massage therapist or a personal trainer, great, you know how to do those things, but do you know how to run your business if you want to work for yourself? Because if you don't know how to run a business, you won't be in business for very long. And we want to help you be in a sustainable business where you can create different income streams, not burn yourself out by just doing one-to-one, but create different income streams using your content in reusable ways, so that you can structure a business and create that longevity, because you've thought about it. That's what the business plan is for when you get to stage 3. And that's why we get you to do the programs, and we get you to do the marketing research and see who's out there, what are they doing, how do they present themselves, what do you like, what do you don't like about their websites, their message, about how they present themselves, what they look like, all of those things to really help you narrow it down and consider, how do I want to present myself? What do I want my potential clients to know and to feel and experience when they come to my website, so that they know they're in the right place? So I suppose it's kind of like a few of you, and I hear this so often, and it's one of the things that I'm really proud of, is that many people who come to the diploma course, the Holistic Life Coach and Mind Body Practitioner diploma, they often say to me just what Georgia and Leanne have said this morning, that they read through and it spoke to them, it resonated with them, it was what they were needing, it was what they were looking for. So being able to convey that was enough for you to realize and get, yeah, this resonates with me, this is what I'm after, this is what I know I need, and I'm gonna do it. So that's something similar to consider on how that might work for you. Did you want to put your video on and join us? You don't have to if you don't want to, but you're also very welcome to just verbally, auditory, let us know where you are, what brought you here, and what you want to get out of it. Would you like to do that without putting your video on if you don't want to? Yep. Okay, that's fine. We can hear.
Oh, right. Hi, I'm Anne May. I'm a physio, and I've decided to combine physio with what I'd like it to be is mentoring younger physios in their early stage of their career.
And would you mind sharing, Anne May, why that is? Because there's a reason behind my question here, because often people come to this work because of their own personal experience and what they've learned through that experience, that they then want to help others prevent or go through or learn from? Would you mind sharing? Is that okay?
No, that's fine. So I've been a physio for about 2 years, but I've done other work in the past. And the physio work that I have done in the first years, I found it was quite a struggle and a challenge to get that work-life balance on top of learning the new skills as a new grad in, say, a private practice setting. And I think burnout was probably something that I did experience, and it's something that I want other people to be aware of, but to be able to prevent as well.
Awesome, awesome. For you, that's actually quite a benefit, because you already know what's brought you to this course, and you already know what you want to get out of this course in order for you to help other young physios coming into the profession so that they don't burn out. Is that about right?
Yes, correct.
Awesome. So that's actually a really huge benefit for you, because you're very clear on that, and your 12-week plan was all about structuring that program, that course, getting it together and working through that. And that's actually a really good point, knowing that some people don't, and that's absolutely fine. You'll figure it out as you go through. That's what the practical tasks are for. But in your particular case, Anne, you've got a great opportunity here to really create a program that you could deliver in person or online that is a niche market targeted to physios. And there's a lot of physios around the place. So this is actually a great example of having an idea for your signature program or your signature methodology. And really, in your program, which is outlined in I think it's module 10 and 11 in the business modules at the end, that's where you really take a deep dive into a 12-week outline of a program, a workshop template, and a few other really cool things that are really going to help you narrow down and figure out exactly who that's for and what the structure would be and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to be doing a head start because you've had that as your 12-week action plan. But that's kind of what everybody would really benefit from, and that's why I've included that 12-week template, so that when you get to those last couple of modules and you're thinking about, well, how am I going to present my services? What's my main offering to my niche market? Then that 12-week program outline that you fill in and the workshop template to go with it, that really gives you a fantastic structure that you can then use one-to-one with your clients. You can turn into an online course. You can turn into a group program in person or online. You can deliver it in a multitude of ways over a 2-day weekend, or if there's enough content that you can stretch out with relaxing, fun activities in between, you could do a couple of days of a retreat working through your signature method. So that's ultimately what makes a lot of coaches, or most coaches, really successful and I use the term successful lightly because success means different things to different people. But whatever your definition of success is, if it's to make, just enough to contribute to helping pay the family bills and take your family on a holiday once a year, expenses all paid because you've earned enough to do that, great. If it means making a certain figure, well, that's great. You just have to scale things differently. But having a signature program and a signature offering that is your methodology and your approach to guiding your clients or your students or your participants through a structured program in order to get to a particular end result, so that they can then go on feeling confident, empowered, with the tools that they need to maintain that, knowing themselves better, needs, values, stress, anything that specifically you want to bring in. That's going to be to your absolute benefit, knowing that and being able to do that. And that's why that program is there, because if you can create that and you can have that for you to work with, then you've got your program, you've got your idea, you've got what you will become known for. Does that make sense? Any questions? Yep, Georgia. I've just
sorry. With the 12-week program, is it like a group coaching thing, or is that just a specific program that people will go on, and then you also do, packages of like 6 sessions or 12 sessions to work on sort of anything else? Or
It's designed for you to use as your signature program that contains the steps that you would use in the order you think, with the tools and the support, the homework, the exercises that you think need to be in there in a structured way that you could use with your clients one-to-one, and that you probably will start with, but that you could also adapt for a group program, or you could turn it into, an online course and shorten it, or however you want to deliver it.
okay.
So the thing is, once you've got that structure, you can take segments of it and create some masterclass videos and then turn them into a video series that you could sell. You can take some of that content and you can do a workshop. You could do an online workshop, or you could partner with somebody else and you could do a full day workshop. They're always fun. Peter Marie, one of our very first graduates for the Holistic Life Coach and Mind Body Practitioner course, she's been doing, just in the last couple of months, a couple of self-care workshops that she's partnered with a nutritionist for, so that they can actually combine her coaching skills and some of her other skills that she's done from a couple of other short courses with the nutritionist skills, and bringing in the food as well as the relaxation and the self-care, because Peter really focuses on self-care and soul coaching. That's her niche. So they just combined and they've done a couple of workshops, and she just took some of the components that she would use with her one-to-one clients and she used some of that for her workshop. So once you've got that structure, you can use it, you can take bits and pieces from it, and you can apply it however you want to in delivering that service to your clients or students.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Kelsey, would you like to say hello? I'm going to unmute you so that you can say hi. Tell us where you're from and what course you're doing. And,
yeah. Thanks for having me. It's 7:30 over here p.m. in South Florida. So I am born and raised from here, and I am taking the Holistic Health Coaching and Functional Nutrition course, and I just started a couple of weeks ago. So I'm finishing up module 2, excuse me. And I'm just like in love with it. It's like right up my alley, and I'm just really, really looking forward to continuing to learn and all of that. So yeah, I'm really excited to be joining the team.
Excellent. Welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have any, I know this is your first call with us, and we're sort of structuring a little bit different to how we normally do it, but I think sometimes it's important, just as a connection for a community online, to hear from other people around the world, where they're from, what they're doing,
yeah,
what they want to do with their qualification, what brought them here, so that it sparks conversation that we can all benefit from. Otherwise, what we do is we often have one person becomes the client, and then we all collectively coach them. Or we might do that on our call later today, my time, which may be in the middle of the night or in the morning for some of you out there. So what, you're a personal trainer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm a fitness coach.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what would
Go ahead.
what do you want to do with this health and nutrition coach certification? How do you want to bring that into what you're currently doing?
Yeah. So I work for a private studio. It's really me and my boss, who is the owner of the company. And we work with a lot of post-rehab people, that have come off knee replacements, and usually of the country club goers, the seasonal country club goers. And then my boss and I work both with a lot of mini tour golfers. So a lot of male and female golfers trying to make the PGA and the LPGA tour. Some are on there, some are not. So really what I'm looking to bring into, we don't have anyone on staff that talks nutrition. We usually outsource them to someone. And usually what my passion is, and I kind of do this already without having any certification other than the physical body. But my area is firmly in a lot of the things that they're doing outside of the gym, their sleep, their nutrition and their self-talk. I'm finding I have a lot of clients that are beautiful and they're, approaching an age where their body is changing, and that's a natural process. And, throughout our whole sessions, it's like, they're frustrated and they're squeezing parts of their body and they're like, I never used to have this. And they're calling themselves names. And I've seen people transform their lives, and I firmly believe that it starts with the thinking. And so I want to have more tools to be able to do that instead of just using my experience, really, which is what I've used in the past. And that's not always credible, It's like, using my experience and all of that, I would like some better tools that I can go at and really help people change their perspective, and then see how that changing that perspective and changing their thoughts actually changes their feelings and their behaviors and their quality of life. And that's really like, because I've gone through a transformation like that on my own. And I just think it's a shame that people are living lives where they're in frustration with, they're double-minded. They're doing one thing and they feel like they should be doing another, or vice versa. So I'm just like really excited. And my boss found this and I was like, this is awesome, and just the connection that we made and all of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But to kind of bring it in as a well-rounded, where my boss can kind of be like, okay, you're going to go see Kelsey for an hour, or 2 hours this week, and that's going to be a part of your program, and I can help with the golfers on the road because they have a difficult time kind of taking their nutrition on the road with them and keeping a balanced, meal, and they have a difficult time with sleep and stuff like that. So kind of helping them and guiding them along that process.
Excellent. You're going to learn some fantastic tools to help with the mind from the inside out, as well as the food putting in the body, but a little bit about stress that's woven in with the functional nutrition. Yeah, it's a different how we approach it in the Mind Body Practitioner course, but it's structured around that functional nutrition aspect once you understand the mind and how all that is integrated into fantastic. Excellent. Great. All right. Does anyone have any questions of anybody else at this stage, since most of you have heard others speak? Does anyone have any questions from somebody else or comments or anything? Because that's one of the reasons why we do these courses, so that you can connect with each other. No? All right. Anne-May, did you have any other questions or anything that you'd like to share, or anything at all?
No, I don't have any other questions. I'm all good.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Okay. So what I might do is open it up to all of you. Does anybody have any questions at this stage about actually coaching? Because Kelsey, you're only on module 2 of yours. Leanne, you're doing module 3 in the Holistic Life Coach and Mind Body Practitioner course. Leah still has to do some coaching. She's actually finished the course, but she's got to do some practical coaching. Leah, would you like to say hello? Leah's shy. Would you like to say hello, Leah? Not on camera. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, we've got about 15, 20 minutes left. Is there any questions about actually coaching sessions, how to structure the session, what questions to ask, what's the difference between the first initial consult to the ongoing sessions, or how to get clients, things like that? Have you thought about your practical coaching yet, Leanne, since I know that you're on 3 and you've got one more? And then she does the eyes drop and go, oh God, she's just asked me. To coach, you've got to be, to be a coach, you've got to actually coach. So come on, tell us, have you arranged anybody yet? Have you thought about it? Because you're nearly to that point.
I've thought about it, but I'm kind of at the point where I've been, I guess, practice for someone else already doing the course. So I've taken a little bit away from working with her. I work with Robin. Yep. I've had sessions with her already. And so I'm kind of getting a feel for it. The thing that I'm worried about is I don't have an idea where I would head towards a niche. And obviously that comes a little bit later. So when I enter into coaching, I kind of don't really know what direction I want to go to. And if it's just going to be general, like how do I start that and where do I go with that? Like I can have people volunteer and we can create a session, but I'm just worried that maybe won't know their focus or won't understand what they're asking to work with me about. So
yeah. Okay. Can I put something to you as a suggestion?
sure.
Might be able to help you here. You went through a life-changing experience a year ago, and that was a catalyst for you to question everything. Now, we don't just get to a point like that because of a death. Sometimes it is a diagnosis. Sometimes it is the loss of a job or a relationship breakdown. So there's lots of different life experiences that can become a catalyst for somebody who perhaps in some situations, because it's not applicable to all, but some people, let me put it this way, who wants change? Who wants change in their life?
Everyone.
Okay, now let me just ask that question again slightly differently. Who wants to change? You guys mostly do because you're here, you're embarking upon this change and you've chosen to do that and commit to yourself and do it deliberately. But most people, they know they want change, but it's the fear of not knowing, how do I change? Will it work? Can I do it? Etc. It's that fear that keeps them stuck. And a lot of that fear is being driven by their belief system.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when that catalyst happens, when that life shift happens and it's out of their control and they feel like they've got no choice or no opportunity, or they're wondering why did this happen to me? That catalyst actually is the only reason why that person then is pushed forward and pushed to dig deep and pushed to ask the question, what do I want? What does my life mean? What can I achieve now? Maybe that I'm pushed out of this job, for example. Maybe now I can pursue a job that I really wanted to do. Like it's done me a favor. We might not think of that at the time because we're upset that, oh, we've lost our job and the fear of not having enough money. But sometimes it's in those situations that people actually are forced to dig deep and they realize how much resilience they have. They realize how much strength to overcome. They realize, maybe in retrospect often, but at the time, they'll do what is necessary to move forward. There's a period of staying stuck, and sometimes that's the grieving. Sometimes that is the shock and the disbelief. But then once that passes, there's a choice. What do you choose? Yes, this has happened to you, but what can you do about it? What are you willing to do now? So here is just a suggestion for you, Leanne. Even though you're not sure what your niche may be, inevitably that will become a little clearer to you as you progress through, particularly as you progress through the middle modules of the Mind Body Practitioner section. That's the Mind Body Connection, Modern Stress, Psychoneuroimmunology, Neuroscience, Positive Psychology. That's when you dig deeper into the programs. So as you progress through there and then you get into the business modules, things become clearer again because you're deliberately really thinking about, what do you love talking about? What is your experience compared to your study? Where is your interest? Where's your passion? What do you really understand about people's struggles, or about stress, or about self-care, or about finding your purpose in life? You get me?
I need all those things. So yes, I totally get it.
So,
which is why I'm here. So slowly we're working.
So, you could start with what you know. Many people come to this work because of something that has brought them here. and they're ready to pursue it and to go further into it. So for you, just think about what brought you here. What questions did you have? What made you? What was the catalyst for you having that internal spark of, I need to look at this differently. There's so much more to life, or I want to make more of my time count. You know, just think about, what were you looking for in that moment? Were you looking for life purpose? Were you looking for meaning? What were you looking for? Because guaranteed, there are going to be many, many people in the world who are going to be looking for those very similar things, and they're going to need someone to guide them who's already been through it. So could that be a potential starting point for you with your practice sessions, to put it out there? You know, have you had a huge life shift and now wondering what's next? Are you looking for purpose? Are you wanting to find meaning? Do you want to reconnect with your needs, with who you are as a person? Are you ready to turn your life upside down deliberately?
Right.
You know, these are great questions that you can put out there. I'm offering, as part of my holistic life coach training, complimentary practice sessions in exchange for feedback forms. So you get my time and my training, and you help me get better at what I do and provide me feedback. Okay.
Yep.
Does that help you to feel a little bit more excited, or a little bit more assured of, okay, right, I don't know exactly what I'm going to specialize in, but I know I can do this, just to get started with my practice coaching?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Awesome. Any other questions? No? Yeah, go for it. I'll unmute you. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I just have not really a question, just a comment that I kind of found is that, you know, the same coaching tools that I'm looking to implement with others are the same that I need to use to direct my own confidence in helping others. You know, I think one of my big limiting beliefs is like, God, can I really help these people? You know, and that will keep me back from really stepping out and taking a risk to not be great at the beginning of doing this or knowing everything. But it's funny because it's like these same beliefs that are holding back people are the same ones that are holding me back from thinking, gosh, can I really help change these people's lives? And so I have to kind of use the same modality on me and really take into question those beliefs and where that's coming from. And you know, I totally loved what you said. I've always found that change in my life has come as a result of some discomfort or pain or suffering. And I'm just not willing to stay there anymore. And so I change. And, you know, I know that, and it's still uncomfortable to change sometime, but, you know, I know that well enough now that I'll walk through that discomfort to, you know, hopefully get to the next place. So I just appreciate everything you shared and what everyone said.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing that, because what you've just said about, can I do this, and having my own beliefs and having to actually use these modalities on myself, that's exactly the reason why the courses are structured, for you to do these practical tasks with yourself, for you to actually have to go through the exercises, examine your own story, look at your own self-talk, look at your fears. This is exactly why, because we all experience them, we all struggle with them. But if you are willing to put yourself in that position and that discomfort of looking at your own stuff, but doing it in a supportive way that is guiding you to look at it for what it is, but question it. Question it. Is this true for me? Where did I pick this up? Is it even relevant to who I am now, or who I'm trying to be? Or is it just simply this habitual paradigm that I'm stuck in? A paradigm is just really a pattern of thinking. Is it really just this habitual pattern of thinking that has got me into this habit loop of telling myself I can't do it because?
Yeah.
So what if we challenge that and we said, well, actually, I can do this because. I can do this because I've demonstrated in the past how many times I've been adaptable and resilient. I can do this because I'm willing to learn what I don't know. I can do this because my attitude is one of, I'm willing to find out. So it's challenging the story. And as soon as you start to challenge a story, the story loses its power.
Yeah.
It starts to really fade in the background, which is kind of like a metaphor for the actual brain, neural circuitry in the brain actually wiring when we have a new thought pattern that we start to solidify with associations and feelings, and then other actions. Other actions are then wiring and connecting in the brain, and the brain circuitry is changing. That's neuroplasticity. And then that is kind of similar to when we recognize a pattern that takes us that way, but we are choosing to disrupt that pattern and create a new one over here. So while these new neurons are firing and wiring over here with these new thoughts and behaviors and feelings and actions, this old pattern starts to disconnect and literally unwire. And there is a video that is included. It's not in the section of your coaching as modules, Kelsey, because it's actually part of the neuroscience modules in Mind Body Practitioner. But there's a video, and I'm happy to post it inside the private Facebook group so that you can see it, regardless of it not being in your course. But it literally shows you the neurons in the brain actually seeking out and then starting to fire as the person is thinking and taking action on that new pathway. Because the more you focus on it, the more it strengthens those connections. So there is going to be a period throughout change of discomfort from moving from the familiar way of thinking, feeling, and doing towards doing something, thinking something, and feeling something that is new and unfamiliar to the brain. And we're not sure, is this going to actually make me happy? Is this going to give me the result that I'm after? Can I do this? Will I be able to? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. Yes, I can. I'm willing to try. The more that you can be aware that through that transition of unwiring and rewiring, moving from the old pattern to the new one, there is going to be a period of discomfort. There is going to be a sense of unfamiliarity for the brain. So the more that you can consistently, consciously apply those new thoughts, those new feelings, those new behaviors, and taking action to that new reality that you want to create, that you want to be experiencing more of on a daily basis, the sooner that your brain will start to create the pattern, which will make it more familiar, not only to your brain, but to your mind. Yeah, I've done this a few times now. It's not so scary. I'm still not sure what's going to happen down the road, but I know that I have much more control over it the more conscious I am about, moving with this and wanting this to be a part of my life. And so it's just a matter of, once you have that formula, is consistently, consciously applying it every day and using the brain hacks that we have in our neuroscience module. There's 7 brain hacks there. To disrupt the old pattern, which really means you're disrupting the focus on the old habitual one by becoming aware, whether it is, using the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, whether it's using the clap your hands, click your fingers, say out loud, stop telling myself I can't do this. I'm choosing to figure it out. Everything is figure outable. I can do this. I'm doing the best I can with the knowledge I have in this moment. I'm going to be kinder to myself. I don't need to be beating myself up and tearing myself down. I've done enough of that. Now is the time to really be supportive, to be kind, to be compassionate, to support myself, to be my own best friend, to tell myself I can, I will. You can even use your power pose, stand like Wonder Woman or Superman. It literally creates a physiological effect in the body that then cognitively, gives you a boost of confidence. You stand up tall, put your hands on your hips. There's a great TED talk by Amy Cuddy talking about power poses if you wanted to check it out. And I actually did it with a client of mine. She's a farmer, and I made her get up. And I said to her, come on, let's get up. Let's shake it out. We did a shakedown, and then we did some butterfly breathing just to calm the nervous system. And then I said, okay, now let's power pose. And she said, let's what? I said, let's power pose. So I power posed and I put on this really strong, feminine. I said, come on, be Wonder Woman. I said, be Wonder. I can. I said, when you get up in the morning, I want you to shake it out, shake off all that negativity, energize your body, get your heart rate pumping, get that fresh blood oxygenating throughout the body. And then do some 10 butterfly breathings, calm it back down, calm and centered, focus, and then set your intention. Get into your power pose. I'm so excited about today. Today's going to be amazing and awesome. I can create anything I want to today. I'm so excited for it. I can do this. Even if I don't know how, I'm willing to learn. I'm going to figure it out. And, talk to yourself in a confident, authoritative tone in that power pose, reminding yourself that this is my life. This is my life, and I want to live it the way I want to live it, not how I've been programmed or conditioned throughout my childhood to live it. I want to live it the way I want to live it. That means you've got to become your own superhero. So, get into the power pose. Talk to yourself like you would your best friend or your children. Bring your confidence up. Believe in yourself. Be on your own side. It's not going to be easy in the beginning, no, but it's worth it, because you are going to be working towards something that you want to be creating in your life. And that, it's scary to take responsibility for the things that you're creating, but if you're creating things mostly unconsciously, what's scarier than that? Because if you're creating them unconsciously, you really don't have much control or say in the outcome. But when you become conscious and you start controlling what you are thinking and feeling and saying, and you're practicing that, you have much more authority in your own life to create the life that you want, to direct how your day is going to go. And, that's worth it, isn't it? Right, well, you've all just had a kick up the bum, right? So I expect that you're going to get up and do your power pose after this call. When you get up in the morning, even before you go to bed, shake out the day. Tomorrow's a fresh new day of creation. What are you going to create? When you learn how to apply these things for yourself, your own self-belief system will rise. And you will then have much more, you'll have a greater empathy for your clients and their struggle, because you'll have gone through it, and you'll know that, yes, some days are just tough, they're hard. But you'll also be able to help put them back on track and help support them to support themselves moving forward. So that once they've finished working with you and they have everything they need, they've got the tools to support themselves beyond working with you. And that's what is going to make them recommend you and refer to you, because they're going to be so happy at what they've achieved for themselves, knowing that they're in charge now, no matter what the outcome was that you helped them achieve. That formula of change is very similar for every issue, every problem. What does that sound like? Doable? You got the tools, you're learning the tools, you just got to apply them.
Can I just say something, Vicky?
Yes, of course.
Leanne, did you say you haven't done any practice coaching yet?
I don't know what you're doing.
No. I was just from what you said before about like finding your niche and things, I was really like focused on that as well. And I was quite worried that I wouldn't find it. And just through doing, like I was saying before, through doing each session, I just put it out there that if someone wanted life coaching, because I had no idea what I was going to work with. And through doing each session, I was finding things that I really enjoyed working with people. So there was things that I found that I didn't really like, and there was other things that I really loved. And so it helped me to really hone in on sort of where I'm heading. And now I have a general sort of idea, but I'm still not concrete on what I'm going to do. And I think also I'm really open to the fact that this is sort of where I'm heading now. I've got an idea of what I'm going to do now, but I'm not sort of setting myself up and saying that's exactly what I'm doing and there's no room to change. I'm just saying this is where I'm going to start, and if it doesn't feel right as I'm going through, then I can change it as I go. But I just think, just getting started with someone, and the coaches in the group are great to coach as well, because they they're the sort of people that are willing to do the work. So they're already in that good headspace, which I find is, makes it a lot easier. So just all I'm saying is just, when you get into it, it feels good, and you start finding your way. But it is daunting to start with. But it'll all come unstuck as you go.
Thank you. Leanne, did you want to say anything?
No, I just really, I appreciate the support, because I mean, I have Robin, who is being my coach right now, and I get a lot and get to take away a lot from just her. I haven't worked with anyone else yet, and I don't have any of my own clients yet, but I just find this group of people is amazing. Like, truly, you just give one comment and everyone is very uplifting, very supportive, and I never walk away feeling disappointed with being part of any of this group. Like, go online and the Facebook page and read all the comments and struggles other people are having. It just always resonates with me that, okay, I'm not the only one. And obviously I know I'm not the only one, but it makes me get through the day a little bit better. Makes my day easier.
Oh, that's great. Mm-hmm. Heart overflows. Okay, all right, enough of that. All right, we're very pleased, and thank you so much for sharing. And I'm very, very proud of the community that we've created online, because it's not just me, it's every single person in the group who participates and who shows up and who shares their struggles, shares their accomplishments, shares their insights, shares, other things that they see and think that might be a benefit to the rest in the group. And for all of you guys for supporting each other and swapping sessions and encouraging each other and listening and helping solve problems and helping each other to get through the practical coaching element, to gain confidence and realize how much you love coaching, or how much you can actually help someone shift something with just one phrase or one question, and getting clarity on where you want to go and who you do want to help by actually helping each other. I'm very, very proud of that. So well done to you, everybody who's watching this replay. All right, fantastic. I think we'll call it a day. It's just been over an hour. Some people want to get on with their day. Some people want to go to bed. So thank you so much, everybody. Hopefully today's been super helpful. Just having some ideas about different things, about business, about self, about beliefs, about what you can do in business and coaching and pricing and websites and all that kind of stuff, and what you can potentially do with it. Great, fantastic. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing with each other and supporting each other throughout your studies and beyond. Everybody have a lovely sleep or a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time.